On July 21st, 2001, Rugrats premiered a 10th anniversary special that would forever change the legacy of the Rugrats. The episode was titled All Growed Up and featured the Rugrats 10 years into the future.
I can't believe you and your mutant friends are still playing in a closet. You are such preteens. That Emika CD is brand new. Hand it over.
But you said we could borrow it, Angelica.
Your memory's slipping, Pickles. I said you could maybe look at my Emika CD.
But we wanted to learn all of our songs before the concert tomorrow.
You want too much, Finster. Now give me my CD. I'm gonna be late for the bus.
The episode was an expression of what fans like myself had always wondered. What would Tommy and the gang be like if they had grown up just like me? The groundbreaking episode was a huge success and toppled records. 12 million viewers, which was 70% of all kids ages 2 to 11, tuned in on that summer day. The episode was so exceptional that the very next day, Nickelodeon decided that they needed to continue this concept into its own show. Soon, Nickelodeon ordered an initial 2 seasons of what we know today as All Grown Up. But was All Grown Up good? Did it live up to our expectations and prove to be a success in its own right? In this video, I'm going to try to answer these questions and ultimately decide whether All Grown Up was a hit or miss. Welcome to Dial Up Digest. If you want to watch videos about TV shows from the 90s and 2000s, subscribe for new videos every Thursday. Before we get into All Grown Up, let's briefly recap its hugely popular predecessor, The Rugrats. The Rugrats premiered on Nickelodeon in 1991 and ran for 9 successful seasons, sadly ending in 2004. The series followed a group of babies and toddlers as they explored the world around them. Tommy was bold and fearless, Chucky was the cautious redhead, Phil and Lil were the twins who liked playing in the mud, and Kimmy was Chucky's sister who was ready for anything. And of course, there was Angelica, who was Tommy's mean cousin, and Susie, who was the polite next-door neighbor. For 12 years, we watched these babies remain as infants, rarely celebrating another birthday. But in 2003, we finally saw how these babies would age in All Grown Up.
We have something for you. Happy birthday! 4, 3, 2, 1!
All Grown Up was its own show, but it still had familiar aspects of the original series we knew and loved. For example, Chucky was still at times hesitant and the voice of reason.
Where'd you think about it? We're in the same boat, with a hole in it that's filling up with water and likely to sink.
While Tommy remained bold and kind of dull.
Whoa, you guys, don't you think you're being a little hard on Chucky?
As for Phil, he continued to happily have the same interests he had when he was a baby.
I don't know why, but it takes me right back to my childhood.
As expected, the preteens experienced some changes as well.
I wasn't sure if I was letter or legal size.
Lil started to let go of her love of dirt and all things gross in favor of becoming more feminine. She ditched wearing matching outfits with Phil and developed her own sense of style.
Yeah, may I remind you that you look just like me if you had style and cute hair?
Angelica continued to be bossy but became more materialistic.
If you don't meet my demands, you can say sayonara to You Gotta Go cards.
And had a new love for fashion and pop culture. She was less cruel than she was when she was a toddler and developed a closer relationship with her cousins, Tommy and Dale, and Angelica also developed a closer friendship with Susie. Speaking of Susie, she grew up to become a straight-A student and was a talented singer.
The road'll zig, the road'll zag, and baby, that ain't all bad.
While Kimmy kept her free-spirited nature and became interested in the arts.
What do you think?
Last but not least, we have Dill. In the original series, Dill was just a newborn, so he didn't get a chance to have much of a personality. But in All Grown Up, he makes up for it. Dill grew up to become a colorful kid who was into all things strange, weird, and wacky. He was proudly an outcast and a firm believer in aliens and ghosts.
I wonder what Dill would be like if we never dropped him on his head.
This more matured group went through typical preteen struggles due to friends, school, siblings, parents, and first loves.
I'll never forgive you, and I never ever want to see you again! Ever!
All Grown Up shared some themes with the original Rugrats series, like courage and friendship, but had some new ones too, like insecurities and identity. In the Rugrats, the focus was on the babies learning about the world, while in All Grown Up, the focus was on the preteens learning about themselves.
Kimmy, what did you find out?
I'm Japanese!
You're just figuring that out?
So how did people react to All Grown Up? Well, All Grown Up ran for 5 seasons and amounted to a grand total of 55 episodes. This was 4 seasons less than the original Rugrats series. When All Grown Up debuted in 2003, it received a top 15 rating. However, the reviews from critics were mixed. For example, the Los Angeles Times thought All Grown Up was a revolutionary idea, while Games Radar thought it was an ill-advised venture. Even the Rugrats' ex-executive producer, Paul Germain, was not a fan of the spin-off. He thought the show didn't make sense anymore because it lost the Rugrats' main premise of seeing the world through the eyes of babies. Another complaint was the show's animation style. While the first season of All Grown Up tried to retain the original Rugrats' animated look, in season 2 it changed. The new animation style was more defined and thus lost its connection to the original series in that regard. Financially, All Grown Up was somewhat of a success according to Screen Rant. With the absence of 3 blockbuster movies like the Rugrats, All Grown Up didn't generate nearly as much revenue as its predecessor. However, it still made Nickelodeon a pretty penny. You could get All Grown Up toys, DVDs, books, and even a video game. So what are my thoughts on All Grown Up? Well, I remember being very excited when I heard All Grown Up was going to be a series. I had always wondered how Tommy and his friends would look like and act when they grew up, so seeing this series would give me the answers to my questions. I found the series to be generally entertaining.
You were there for me, I'm there for you. Wherever I go, I know this is true.
But I didn't enjoy it as much as the Rugrats. I really liked the Rugrats because it had themes of discovery, wonder, and adventure, and it was all told from a unique perspective that you couldn't find anywhere else. In contrast, All Grown Up followed the lives of preteens, but other than them being the grown-up versions of babies whom I adored in another show, it was really just a show about middle schoolers and their struggles. I didn't find anything really special or appealing about the show other than its connection to the Rugrats. However, I did like how the show answered some of my questions about the characters, like if Tommy and Kimmy would be in a relationship one day.
Please, Kimmy, tell your brother there's no way I'd be interested in you.
There's no way he'd be interested in me.
And how Phil and Lil's twin bond would change as they grew older. I think All Grown Up would have been more interesting to me if they had done something to differentiate it more from the original series. For example, I would have liked to see another character added in, perhaps a younger sibling for Kimmy and Chucky, or even seeing Angelica as a big sister. Overall, I did enjoy All Grown Up, and it did meet my expectations for the show. It's not often we see cartoon characters we grew up with grow up too, so I'm glad the spin-off happened. It was a show that was created in part due to the overwhelming love of the original series and a longing to see what the Rugrats would be like as they grew older. So while All Grown Up has generally mixed reviews, the spin-off did achieve its goal of exploring how the babies would be like in the future. All Grown Up differed from the original series in many aspects, but it was its own show and it needed to be different. All Grown Up became a financial success in its own right, and it was pretty entertaining to watch. Therefore, I would say that All Grown Up was a hit.
And split!
What do you think? Did All Grown Up live up to your expectations, or were you disappointed?
Preteens are pathetic.
Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok at dialupdigest. Until next time, my friends, dialing out.